Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Steve Kiyama. I'm the franchise owner for Action Coach Business Coaching in Fairfax, Virginia, and I'm your host today of the Business Spotlight podcast. And today I've got the pleasure to introduce Dontae Tyler, the CEO and founder of OQP Solutions, as my guest. And today we're going to talk about Dontae's business, his journey into business ownership, some of the challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to own and operate and build a business like Dontae's. So, Dontae, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here today. And if you would, please give us a little bit of background about who you are and a little bit about the business.
Hey Steve, how are you? Great to finally do this. I know you sent me a few messages and we had to get our schedule in. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for bringing me to your community. Before we get started, I just want to say all glory to God, just for waking us up this morning and getting us here, and putting this together. Excited for today's chat. But I guess you asked me for an intro, is that correct?
Tell us a little bit about you first.
I would, it's always interesting when someone asks me that now. I like to describe myself as um, maybe the underdog. Previous, before we started the camera, we were chatting offline and I just explained to you that, I didn't go to college, right? So I've been in tech for 11 years now, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Started my business in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a crazy story. I got my first government consulting agreement, like government contract as a subcontractor in 2019, and that's what led to me starting my business. But I'm from Washington, D.C. originally. I grew up in Prince George's County. All over. I graduated from Prince George's County schools. It's just a little bit about my background and who I am and where I'm from.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Tell us a little bit about the business itself. You said you started it up in 2019. What was the contract for, and where have you been going with it since then?
Steve, I'll always just give glory to God because I was you know, uh, lost youth. I had graduated high school and I just didn't have a plan. I had
Hmm.
I just didn't have any plan. I hadn't applied to any colleges.
Hmm.
I failed the ASVAB, when I went tried to get into the army. It just didn't look good in the beginning. And
Hmm.
I stumbled into tech. I was able to, obtain a couple of certifications that allowed me to get clearance. And once I got the clearance, that put me in some environments where I was able to thrive. And someone noticed me as I was thriving,
Right.
and they presented me with an opportunity, which was a consulting agreement. And from there, this is my introduction into, consulting, 1099 work. And, I made a lot of money in a short amount of time. And,
Hmm.
as a 23, 24-year-old, I was very intrigued from that point. And that led to a conversation with my tax person.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Hey, you made all of this money and you have to pay taxes." And I was like, "Taxes?" And I needed a write-off, right?
Hmm.
So it was like she was like, "You need to start a business." So
Mm. Okay.
there the business
Who
starts.
knew? Right. Right.
And here I am thrusted into entrepreneurship and all of the things, right?
Good.
So it's like a quick
Good.
story.
No, that's a really good story, actually. I don't think it's probably more usual than people let on, is kind of finding your way into it in a way. That's good. That's good. What is it that you do for people? What's the service that you provide? You say consulting, but that's a big word. Where do you go? What do you do?
Um, I'm just gonna make you work a little bit, Steve.
No,
I want,
no, that's okay.
I'm gonna make you work a little bit, but no, that's a good question. We are OQP stands for Only Quality People Solutions.
Mhm,
We are a tech firm based out of Washington, D.C., and we specialize in cybersecurity. We
mhm,
provide services as well as products.
mhm.
You know, we service typically the government, right? We go out to government contracts as a subcontractor. We make agreements and partnerships, with larger primes. But in the last 2 years, we've kind of shifted our focus to, commercial and
Good.
private as far as providing products and
Hmm.
SaaS products, as well as services as well to the commercial market. So that's what the business does.
Okay, very good, very good. So you've got a mix of government work and commercial work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true.
What kind of commercial entities are you working with mostly? Big
Hmm.
companies, small companies?
Well, we always like to work with big companies, all right?
Mm. Hmm.
But thus far, we've only been able to work with one large corporation since our inception in 2019. That client was worth $3 billion.
Mm.
And that relationship didn't, that came, that opportunity came by way of relationship that
Hmm.
we didn't, cold call or cold email to, to get that opportunity. And we were grateful to get that when we got the call, but, um, you know, typically when we go marketing and we go out, we're targeting, premium clients, right? I don't like to say, hey, we work with small, medium businesses because in today's business market, I'm se- I'm seeing companies that got about 7 people generating about 5 million or more dollars.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, we really like to just work with premium clients.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Um, is there any particular industry or is there any particular common group? So if I was out there, how would I know I would be a good kind of customer for you?
Hmm. We struggle with this when we go to we meet with a marketing consultant at least twice a year to kind of
Good.
make sure that we're hitting our goals. And we get this question all the time. It's like, who's your
Mm-hmm.
ideal client? Who's your ideal
Mm-hmm.
client? And it's like everybody can, use cybersecurity,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have a slogan when we give cyber hygiene workshops, when we go do our trainings. Cybersecurity is for everybody. Can you say everybody, Steve?
Uh-huh. Everybody.
Nah, 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 nah. No, not everybody. Say everybody.
Everybody.
So that's our philosophy. We really believe that cybersecurity is for everybody, and no industry or company is an exception, right? But we do like to work with highly regulated industries, right?
Uh,
Finance, industrial control systems is another area that I have experience. We haven't done direct work for industrial control client yet, but I have that experience, on the professional side. But we do target those municipalities, to try to help them with that critical infrastructure.
yeah.
Of course, the government, right? And
Yeah.
then more recently, we have been looking into healthcare. It's been kind of difficult breaking into help that industry because a lot of the systems that they already have come that they adopt a lot of the things we bring to the table. So we're still trying to figure that out. But finance is where we really make our mark.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. Let me play around with the business a little bit. When you're in a business, you're running a business, there's an awful lot of hats that have to be worn. You referred to marketing, that's one hat. Selling, converting those leads to sales is another hat. Doing the work is another hat. Billing for the work and collecting for the work are perhaps two more hats. What are the hats you wear now?
Ooh, I don't know. Let me see. Nah. Um, I think that's a really good question to ask. And currently, Steve, I've been giving up hats.
Good,
I've bought on a few people in the last year.
good.
Because that was one of, my struggles as a entrepreneur that stumbled into this, right? I didn't grow up saying, "Hey, I want to own a business," right? So, and to get your first consultant agreement kind of given to you because someone notices that you have good work ethic, it's kind of like, you get a blessing and then it gets taken away. So now
Uh-huh.
you're trying to figure out, okay, how do we get back to that?
Mm.
And it's just been a huge challenge. So wait, I forgot where I was going with that. What was your
I
question
was
again?
asking about which hats you're wearing.
Right, the hats I was wearing. So going back through the process of having to learn after getting an agreement, getting it taken away, having to learn about taxes by like having to learn about them by like having to pay them,
Uh-huh.
and then having to learn how to, okay, you have a budget or you get funding. How do you deploy that money in a way that's return on investment? I didn't go
Hmm.
to a college class that taught me that.
Hmm.
So it was me literally putting $200 on a Google ad to find out that's not how you run Google ads,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So a lot of my learning has just been like with experience, like
On
hitting
the
the
job.
pavement, landing flat on my face and having to pick myself up. And some of it has been, blissfully, right? Not
Hmm.
arrogance, not like, I can do anything where I know that I think that I can, but some of it has just been like I haven't even known that I've been playing with anaconda, and I'm just, you know, so that's how that work. That's how
You,
that's been.
you don't know what danger you're in until it's too late.
Basically,
Yeah,
basically. So by
yeah,
trial and error it's gotten me here.
yeah. I've had somebody make the comment, it's probably more error, as much error as it is trial. Um, but you really do learn. I think you learn faster to a certain degree. I think you learn faster that way. It's much easier if you can learn from other people's mistakes, but sometimes the Braille method is really a very effective teaching tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this
Absolutely.
is good. Um, just kind of going with that, what do you wish more people knew about your business at this stage?
Ooh, what do I wish more people knew about my business at this stage? Um, that's a that's a thought thinker. Um, Obviously, I think most business owners will probably say, "Hey, we exist,"
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Um, but an unselfish answer that I want to give is just care about cybersecurity. That's it. If we
Good.
can, we obviously we do want to convert our sales. We do want to hit our revenues, right? We
Yeah.
do want to hit our numbers. Um, but ultimately, I do care that if we're able to facilitate a workshop at a senior living facility, that just your parent or your grandparent hearing or watching us do a two-factor authentication workshop makes her just second guess a phone call that saves her life savings.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like if I can just get those ripple effect stories as I continue to climb, that's what warms my heart. Like,
Awesome.
just hey, you brought a level of awareness to me that, I didn't even really care about because businesses and people just don't understand the repercussions of like technology failing. And it's not always a cyber attack, right? Like it's failure of your device, right? If
Mm,
if you don't have stuff backed up, then the it's gone.
right. Right.
So just that's what I would want people to know about my business, that we really care about cyber at readiness education, and that we just really want you to care about it as much as we care.
Awesome. 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 No, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic vision. That's a fantastic business vision. And unselfish. It's more
Absolutely.
to the point. No, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Looking ahead, where do you see you taking the business to in the next five, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years?
Mm. Um, we've already made a few global moves.
Mm,
We've hosted a conference in Thailand and Bangkok.
good,
I have spoken in Australia, Melbourne.
good.
I've took the business there as well, right? I've done another speaking engagement in Puerto Rico where I took the business and we had a, table and merchandise and stuff. So we look to expand in the global markets. Um, continue to develop our proprietary products, right? We have some things that we doing, right? Some things that I see, and I want some gaps in the industries that I want to help close, or, be a contributor. Artificial intelligence is here, so it's just presenting more opportunity. So, you know, um, yeah, global footprint, proprietary software, and really making an impact with, bringing faith into the tech space as far as a believer. And just a believer, right? We just really want to be a vessel for the kingdom, and that may look different in a lot of different ways for different people, but we just ultimately just want get people to believe. That's it.
Fan Fantastic. No, that's
That's it.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
That's it.
What do you see as the main challenges to achieve that?
One of the main challenges that I see for that is honestly the economy. I
Mm,
don't, and I don't think that that's a challenge either, because I think, you know, what is for us is going to be for us, and it won't pass us. And in due time, we're consistently chipping away at it every day. We'll get there.
fantastic.
We
Hmm.
will definitely get there. But the climate is so
Good way.
shifty right
Yeah.
now. It makes it difficult for you to get your balance.
Yes.
Markets are up and down, which makes, consumer and buyer confidence fluctuate, priorities switch because
Hmm.
political things have changed the way you have to do business. So now, I don't know why, for some reason, Steve, we've seen this trend over the last year, but as businesses shift their strategies, they cut cybersecurity budget. I don't know why they do that. I'm not sure why that's one of the budgets that they want to cut. I understand some cuts, but some of the things I've seen and heard are very alarming. And I think during this time where businesses are not thriving, they're not making revenue, or they are cutting budgets, cyber criminals know this. And this is when they look to take advantage of systems when people are kind of overwhelmed, right? It's not even that the system isn't built to withstand attacks, but if you have fatigued employees and overworked resources.
They don't catch that phishing email. Yes. Yes. Good point. Good point. I hadn't thought about that. I've heard businesses cut marketing when the economy gets confusing. I had not heard people cutting cybersecurity. Gosh, that's kind of like cutting your own throat.
I won't tell you some of the horror stories, but yeah, I've seen it. It's happened to us. We, last year around this time before the election, we had a few contracts in place and things were, good for us. And the moment that happened, they had to make cuts, which we were one of the cuts. And yeah,
Hmm.
I've that happened to two clients of ours. So, and I've heard other stories. So I think it's strange.
Yeah, I do too.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
strange.
do too. Interesting. Interesting. Picking up and changing direction a little bit. If knowing what you know now, and you've learned a bunch since 2019, knowing what you know now about business, if you started up again the same business today, what would you do differently? Would you
I
do
wouldn't,
anything differently?
I wouldn't start a business.
Why not? You're doing
I,
pretty good from the looks of it.
I'd buy a business.
Ah, very good idea. Okay.
I
All
buy a
right.
business. I wouldn't start one. I buy a business. I'd even go to say I've said this to my friends who are on the other side, and the other side is they're not entrepreneurs, right?
Hmm.
They
They're
work at a
employees.
nice right. They work at nice corporate jobs. They got
Hmm.
nice benefits. They got right. They live a good life, but they're on the other side is now what be now with us getting older, I'm seeing some of them get into their entrepreneur spirit.
Hmm.
And what I see that they have that I'm not missing, but they have is they went to college, they went to grad school, they worked at this corporate company, which put them around people.
Hmm.
So yes, they were on to that. Yes, they've been an employee for the past 7, 8, 9 years, but now they have shares in a company or like, a nice portfolio. So they have what we call bootstrap funding.
Hmm.
They don't need, you know, funding from a bank. So now they have the funding. They went to college, grad school, and they've been at, this nice corporation for 8 or 9 years. They got relationships,
Mm, yeah.
right? They
Yep.
know that they not only know the players, they help build that system.
Hmm.
So they've been boots on the ground. You got funding and you got relationships. As a 33-year-old now, you're prime, you're prime to buy a business and take it to the moon at that point.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So if I had to do anything different, I would slow down. I would have took that first consulting agreement. After that, I should have gone and I got offered a position at Booz Island one time. I had a position overseas offered to me one time just to go, and I wanted to just chase contracts. And so that's what I would do over. I would just be patient. I would go work at a corporation for a few years. I would build my funding. I
Yeah.
would build my relationships, and then I would jump ship around 30 to do my own thing.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense to me. That makes perfect sense to me.
But I
Good.
love this ride I'm on now, though. It's been a
It's a
roller
ride.
coaster, but you know, if I knew what I knew now, I definitely would take some different steps.
Okay. And those are good, honest steps. there's some things to be learned by working in a large organization where you can see how an organization works, you can see how systems work,
Oh yeah.
you can see how accounting works. There's
Oh
all
yeah.
kinds of value from taking that path, but you're already there in a way. So obviously, the way you've picked worked.
Oh wow. Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm
Hmm.
grateful. I'm
Hmm.
grateful.
Good, good. Let's pick up a few rapid fire questions before we wrap up and see what kind of fun we can have with these. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. What would you say is the key to success for you?
Faith. Faith in
Hmm.
God.
Good. Yes, that makes sense. Good. Let's pretend you and I were at a coffee shop and somebody walked in talking to his buddy about how he was going to start up his business next week. What's one piece of advice you would share with him?
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Hmm, that is an important question.
Is the
Yes.
juice worth the squeeze? Don't go out here spending a bunch of money on domains, LLCs, and all of these things, and you haven't proven a use case.
Yeah, very good.
Right? Like you need to go do some research and more than a couple of Google searches in the first three results. I need
Yeah.
you to really spend about 2 to 4 hours diving into, total addressable market, service addressable market,
Yeah.
all of the things
Good, good, good.
to understand, hey, is there even some money in this thing?
Yeah.
Right?
We,
Because I think a lot of us have expensive hobbies. I've
oh,
even had to think of that. I'm like, maybe, maybe I got some expensive hobbies. So that's what I would tell them is the juice worth the squeeze.
that is a fantastic bit of advice. I really like that. Gosh, wishful thinking doesn't sell very much stuff, does it? Cool. All right. What's a book you're reading now or have read recently that's had an impact on how you run the business so far?
Mm, you know what? Shout out to my boy Sean Copeland. He is the CEO of Regent Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he is the owner of 94X Community.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a book called 94X, which is about bringing faith into your business and how to do it legally, how to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And his book really touched me in a way that I didn't even know I still had tears. I could read or emotion from a book, and his book brought out some emotion in
Ooh.
me. Um, I've actually had a chance to, foster a relationship, a brotherhood in Christ with Sean, a really solid guy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know many people that's worth seven figures, let alone eight. And he gave me his time, on a few different occasions. He's prayed for me. But his book, 94X, is if you're a believer, you should go get that book, 94X. You should join the community. I just got back from the conference about 2 weeks ago. They had a 94X conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's the first time I ever been there at Oral Roberts University. Beautiful campus. First time I've seen that. I met a bunch of, believers. I mean, heart spiritually fed, heart is full. So yeah, just shout out to Sean. That was I read that book about 2 months ago. Not the last book I read, but I read that book about 2 months ago. And yeah, 94X by Sean Copeland.
That sounds like it's had an impact. That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's a great impact.
yeah,
Fantastic.
amazing.
You've been on an interesting journey.
Thank you.
If in this journey, which piece are you most proud of?
Ooh, in this journey, what piece am I most proud of? Before it was cool to help people. I don't want to say, let me take that back. what I'm most proud of, I don't want to make this moment about anybody else. What I'm most proud of is I've helped so countless people over the many, many years since I've been in tech and 11 years doing this. And um, I've only charged a few people because they needed more than just information or some assistance. They needed like one-on-one coaching, right? Career, professional development, workforce development, advancement, career advancement, like meetings and things, right? So I've done that a handful of times for a couple of people, but what I'm most proud of is just I feel like it feels so good when I see people out and it's like, man, you sent me a job years ago and I was able to get into tech and or I've been Steve, I've been able to hire people, right? Not a lot of money, right? But just me being able to be a vessel and a branch, to use the money and my talents to pour into others, not just money, but expertise and my time. I would say I'm most proud of that. Like I giving back I love serving. Like I really do. And that's not cliche. Like I serve at my church. I serve people. So that's what I'm most proud of. I enjoy serving.
Fantastic. No, this is really good. This is really good. Following up, just for fun, if you had a magic wand and this afternoon we could fix one thing in your business,
Ooh,
what would it be?
if we had a magic wand or a genie.
Either one.
Grant me one wish in
Yeah.
my business. I would say, I would say, I've been working on my golf swing for anybody that's gonna watch this interview. And I would love to be around people that have way more money than me,
Hmm.
way more success than me, but they can't hit better than me. So, so, so if I could just, put myself as well as, some of my team members in some of these rooms where, we're not just jockeying to be in a room. Like we want to bring value when we come there,
Hmm.
right? Like we
Hmm.
there to help you. That's what I would say. Just exposure, getting in the room, get us in
Hmm.
the room. And I think
Hmm.
we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay.
Good. Good, 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 good. All right. Most important question. How can people who want to know more connect with you?
Ooh, well, I attend Union Church, 1015 service, BWI campus. No, if you wanted the best way to contact me would probably be LinkedIn. That's,
Okay.
I always actually a quick marketing tip or just a networking tip for people is always get the person's LinkedIn if they have it. And why
Hmm.
it a phone number may change these days.
Hmm.
It may, right? Like back in the day, Steve, people's numbers didn't change often.
Right.
But now someone's phone number may change. They may lose it. They may move to a different carrier.
Hmm.
A LinkedIn or a Facebook are probably not going to change.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And even if they don't check it often, when they do check it, they'll see you.
Hmm.
And so I would say LinkedIn is the best way to reach me. And it's my name, Dontae, Dontae, or you can type in the cyber hygienist, which is THA, not
Hmm.
THE. So it's the cyber hygienist. And I should pop up the cyber hygienist on Instagram. And that's those are all my social handles. I got a Substack as well, the
Good.
cyber hygienist Substack. So I can send over a couple of those links so you can, put it into
Yeah, please
the
do.
description.
Yeah, please do. You just raised an interesting, good point, and from a cyber person, this is probably a good insight for people. LinkedIn has got to have a really good security process. They seem to be doing a pretty good job of catching people who hack really, really, really quickly. And I can say that from personal experience because I got hacked some years back,
Okay.
several years back, and they caught it fast and we cleaned it up fast. Uh, so they strike me as being a very more secure than email, even in many respects.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely have a level of verification that email doesn't.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
and you can also see, you can kind of look at a profile sometimes
Mm,
and kind of see, but AI is making it even more difficult. So, um, man, I, the future is
no.
very bright.
Yes,
Very,
but very
very bright.
complicated.
Multi-layer is so many things that are uncertain right now, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So yeah, that's my quick tip for LinkedIn.
Good, good,
Uh,
good. Last question. What's most inspiring to you today?
what is most inspiring me today? Right now, what is inspiring me? I got to bring it back to that book, 94X.
Hmm.
It gave it gave my mission statement and our vision before it gave it life. It was like it like breathed life into it, which, before our vision statement, our vision statement has always been do the right thing when nobody's looking, right?
Hmm.
Well, true character is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That's a part of our vision. But in that, right, as far as like what we're striving to do, bring increase cyber education, but we wanted to hit $100 million in revenue. Right. That's our goal. I like to make big goals, Steve. And when I
Good.
read 94X, it when it breathed life into it, it made it make sense on why God impressed that vision on me was it's not for me to have the money, right? It's for me to be a vessel. I dream, Steve, of giving somebody a clearance. I dream of that, man. Like us, OQP getting a facility level clearance and we get all our contracts together and I'm hiring people, man. Like I'm giving them a clearance and a clearance changed my life. Like it gave me access to jobs and still does to this day where, you know, with my experience and the clearance, it's not that much competition,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, I would love to be able to give, people approach me so much, Steve. I got countless messages. Hey, can you get me a job? I'm like, we got one or two contracts, but I don't have 50 employees, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, that's what is inspiring for me the most is just striving after reading that book to really obtain those goals. It like breathe life into the why we really want to be a vessel for the kingdom, Steve. Like I can't stress that enough. And that it doesn't always look like a job. It looks like prayer.
Hmm.
It looks like maybe resources. Maybe we can't help you, but I can redirect you to somebody that can help you.
Hmm.
Education, right? We
Hmm.
want to we want to give workforce development, and so many things. So that's what's inspiring me right now.
Fantastic. Now, this has been fantastic. You have shared a really good number of just plain practical nuggets and inspirational nuggets through this conversation. So this has been a really, really good conversation. So thank you. And for everybody watching, I want to encourage you to save this show because Dante's really has offered a couple of really good bits in here that I think every business owner needs to sit down and think about in their business. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications every time we get a new conversation like this one. And thank you to everybody who joined us, but most especially thank you to Dontae for sharing, being vulnerable, and sharing what he has shared, because this has been very inspirational all by itself. So thank you, Dontae.
No, thank you, Steve. And thank you to anyone who took the time or is taking the time to watch this episode. I send you peace and blessings. And may God bless you.